What's up, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes? It's Brandon Collins back with another celebrity interview from an Africa Roundtable. This one is with the stars and creator of the Black horror anthology series Them, which is celebrating its second season on Amazon Prime. I had the pleasure of briefly speaking with this group about the new direction they took for this new season, which goes by the title Them, the Scare. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page so you get alert about all future reviews and celebrity interviews. Shout out to Africa for this dope opportunity. Now here's my interview with the stars and creator of Them, the Scare. Hi, everyone. Brandon Collins of the Media and Popcorn Podcast. My question is for Deborah and anyone else who wants to jump in. So how did little Marvin present this new season to you? And what
Well, we're
surprised you?
talking about this little Marvin a lot. Is he on the is he on the Zoom or is he?
I'm not sure. But maybe he can chime in at some
You
point.
gotta sit there and take it.
He's popular. I want to meet him.
But I was just curious, what surprised you the most about the direction that this new season took, besides working with this incredible cast, which included the legendary Miss Pam Grier?
So LM and I, we had a Zoom, and we talked for like over an hour, and most of it was actually us just catching up on like life, to be honest. And then he told me about it. He told me about the second season and told me about where he wanted to take it. And I was just like, oh my God, you were actually mad in the best way. And then he was like, come to Atlanta and get to work. You remember? He was like, bring your ass to Atlanta. Let's get to work.
I wasn't even asking.
Like, copy that. I'm there. That's literally how it's bring your ass to Atlanta. Let's get to work. That's literally what he said.
I have to say, like, I can back that up. I did say that. I also, writing it, like I was sitting down to write the second season, I was trying desperately to make myself see somebody else because I just assumed that it wouldn't happen. And I assumed that it wasn't, I needed to think of another actor. I needed to think of another. And as I was writing it, the only face that kept coming to me was Deb. I mean, I've been calling her, she's the official muse of Them because she's the face I see. The first season, she was that warm beating heart of the first season, and she centers everything and grounds everything she does. And she's electric in that way. And so I couldn't see any face but hers. And I was extremely grateful that she was able to do it. So
honestly,
but I did say get your ass down there. I did say that.
get your ass down
I did say that.
Let's get to work. Honestly, because for me, this is the first time I've actually returned to a show that I've been on. Everything I've done has been kind of like limited series. There's just one thing, a film or whatever. And this is the first time I've come back to a show. And so, I didn't think that it was possible to kind of come back to a show and play a completely different character, but in art, nothing's impossible, and especially in the mind of LM, like nothing's impossible. And so for me, I was just like, this is sick. Like, this is an amazing idea. First of all, the time period, I love that time period, and it was I just was all over it, yeah. And then when you told me about your inspirations, what movies you were looking at, and just really wanted to recreate that like hazy LA 90s, when you watch all those films in the 90s in LA, it's just that hazy thing that like I was all over it. I was all over it.
Definitely. I don't know if you want to continue. Sorry if I'm jumping in.
I know.
I'll try. I do want to say with what Deb just said about the 90s and about LA, and specifically, I find myself, like, I think a lot of people, hugely nostalgic for that decade. Like, I love that decade. I love the music. I love the TV shows. I love the hairstyles. I love the fashion. I love everything about it. And so the fun of getting to sit down with Deb, and particularly like with our costume designer, Lynn, and like reference, you'll see as you watch it, there's some really fun Easter eggs just from a style perspective as you watch the show, because we couldn't get, Nia Long and Vivica Fox and Angela Bassett and Waiting to Exhale and Janet Jackson, Poetic Justice, like the list goes on and on and on of references. So it was really fun to work with Deb to create those looks.
Yeah, and I was all, because the 90s style is just like, if you look in my closet, like a lot of it is very 90s. So I was like, this source, this. I was just all over it. So yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.